Okay, let's continue with this assignment and get the JavaScript working. So in the index.html, I've already loaded the JavaScript with my script tag, source main.js. Let's give this a title, Fahrenheit to Celsius converter by Mr. V. First thing to do, let's add the event listener on the button. Document.get element by ID, and that button doesn't have an ID. So there's the button right there, speak. We'll call it the convert BTN. Okay, so element by ID, oops, convert BTN. And then add an event listener on it. We're going to listen for the click event. And then we'll just have a function. Function name should be fairly descriptive. So convert Fahrenheit to Celsius. And then here's my event function. So keyword function, the name of the function right there, open and close parentheses, open and close braces. And just to make sure this works, let's just say hi. So we'll save that, go to here, hit the button, yay, it says hi. Okay, awesome, and I've still got my live server, so that's why it updated, didn't have to hit refresh. Okay, so now the key thing is, in this function, what I want to do is I want to go input, process, output. That's the algorithm. That's the solution to this assignment that I want to do, right? I want to get the input from the user, right? What did they type into this thing right here, right? What numbers did they put in? And then I want to do this calculation and output the result. So let's start with the input. So every input element has a value. So I can actually, on this input element right here, I can give it a value attribute and say 0 to start off with. Right? So when I do that, you'll see that it starts off with 0. Okay, cool. So input elements have a value attribute. So what I need to do is I need to select this input element and select its current value attribute. Because as soon as the user, this is its initial value, but the user can obviously change the value of it. So let's give this an ID. We'll give it the ID of Fahrenheit temp. Fahrenheit temp. So for my input, I'm going to go document.get element by ID Fahrenheit temp. And now what I want to do with this element is I want to get that input element's value. So I simply go dot value. And it always wants to do this node value. If you just hit space, that'll go away. And then do the semicolon. So this will be the value of that input element. And I should store that in a variable. So let Fahrenheit temp be assigned, right? So telling JavaScript to let there be a new variable with this name and assign it the value of whatever the input element's value is. Okay, and let's do a little console.log of that variable just to make sure it's working. Okay, so 45, hit convert, 45, awesome. 234, 234. Okay, so it's getting it. That's great. Now, one thing to take note of is when we get the value of an input element, it always returns it as a string. So I can add another function called type of, I think that's right. Well, it doesn't look right. Type of, let's try that. And what we can do with this type of, okay, here we go. This is, I don't use this very often. Let's try the lowercase one, see if that does any, oh dear, I don't think this is gonna work either. Boop. Oh no, hey, it did work, cool. So no matter what I put in here, 43, it always returns that it's type of string. And you might think, well, but Mr. Veldkamp, I put type number here. Well, that just tells us what input type it is. It gives us these little buttons here that we can go up and down. It doesn't actually change what this thing returns. So when I get the value of that input element in my JavaScript, this always returns a string. Really simple way, I think on the web page, I should update that. Depends on when you're watching this video. Maybe I have updated it. One way to convert this to a number is to actually wrap the entire thing in a number function. So basically it says, hey, take this value, put it inside of this number function, and it'll convert that string to a number. A simpler way to do it that I recently discovered is we can actually just put a plus sign in front of this. And JavaScript will take that plus sign and say, hey, you're trying to do something with a string, it'll convert it to a number. So that's what I'm going to do because I think that's cleaner and neater. Okay, anyway, so that's now my Fahrenheit temperature as a number, and I shouldn't have erased what I had before. Console.log type of Fahrenheit temp. And let's see what that does now. Number, yay, number, wonderful. Okay, and anyway, that's important because when we do our process and we're going to do calculations, we want to make sure that we're doing calculations on numbers, not on strings. Anyway, so let's create another variable called Celsius temp, and let's do the formula, which is Fahrenheit minus 32 times 5/9. Okay, so I'm going to use that variable Fahrenheit temp minus 32 times 5 divided by 9. And order of operations is important. I need to put parentheses or brackets around this to make sure it does the subtraction first. Otherwise, it would multiply and divide first. And that should be good. And the output, we could do alert or console.log, but I want to output to the screen. I'm going to give the span the ID of Celsius output. And what I can simply do now is go document.getElementById Celsius output and change its inner HTML to be what's in this variable, which is the result of that calculation. Okay, this should work. Get the input, convert it to a number, do the calculation, store it in a variable, and then put that variable into this element here. So let's try something. 32 should be 0 times 5/9. Yay, 0. Let's try like 70 would be a temperature of 21. Cool. So that looks like it works. Again, just a quick, let's double check here. Program does what it's supposed to do. Yep. Code is clearly organized into input, process, and output sections. Input, process, output. Variable names are meaningful and follow convention. So the variable names are meaningful, Fahrenheit temp, Celsius temp. The function name is meaningful, convert Fahrenheit to Celsius. Yeah, hopefully that's good. Proper indentation and spacing is used. Yeah, I think so. We're spacing between the sections, this section, this section, this section. We're indenting inside of our function, so it's easy to see where it starts and ends. And comments are used in an appropriate manner. You don't want too many comments, but we've got our title, we've got our event listener, our event function, input, process, output. That looks good. An extra space here, we can get rid of that. Ta-da! And then the HTML looks fairly organized. The CSS is very basic. That looks good to me. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.